My first guest today is R.S. Sharma. He is the head of the COVID app, someone who's had enormous experience working with Aadhaar also in the past. Appreciate your joining us here, Mr. Sharma. The COVID vaccination drive opened up today to the general public, to those above 60 years of age, 45 with comorbidities. But there's been a lot of confusion on day one. So let me ask you, if somebody wants to register themselves, do they go to the COVID app? Do they go to the website or Arogya Setu? Because those who went on the COVID app had a lot of difficulties today.
Yes, I think this is a very important question. Let me say it this way. We have not, the COVID system has not created any new app. We are using Arogya Setu, and there is an extension in Arogya Setu which actually now provides for a facility for registration and seeking appointment. So that's one part. Second part is that if you don't use Arogya Setu, or if you have a feature phone, you can go to the website whose address is cowin.gov.in, and Cowin is spelled as C-O-W-I-N. Now that website you go, and there also you can register and schedule your appointment. Yes, I'm aware about the confusion because people were trying and looking for an app. So that is the real reason for confusion. We have been telling since beginning itself that we are not going to add any app, because Arogya Setu is an app which has been downloaded by 160 million people, and that app serves it has huge access, and therefore that is sufficient for us.
So you're giving us an important point. You're saying go on the website or go on Arogya Setu. That's the place to go. So that's the first point you've given us. Go on the website, that is cowin.gov.in. Now, sir, senior citizens are also confused at one level because they don't have perhaps the tech friendliness. Do they have to give their documents like Aadhaar at the time of registration on this website or only at the vaccination center is another question that we've been asked, sir.
Well, when they register on the website, obviously we ask them as to what kind of document will you take at the vaccination center. So suppose they say that I'll bring my Aadhaar letter. Now, if they bring the Aadhaar letter, then we are asking, please enter your Aadhaar number. And then we answer them, what is the name as in Aadhaar letter and what is your year of birth. That's the only thing. They don't have to, sort of take a photograph of Aadhaar number, etc. Nothing. Then when they go to the center, they have to get the same document with which they have registered themselves. So if they have registered by Aadhaar, then they take Aadhaar with them. If they registered by driving license, using driving license details, then they take the driving license details. If they have registered using the passport or photo ID card for elections, they take these documents at the vaccination center. So they just have to take one of these documents, any document issued by the government which has photograph, name, age and gender. That's all.
The other area of, again, you've been very clear, Mr. Sharma, you're saying the same document that I use for registration, please carry the same document to the hospital. So again, that's an important query that a number of people have. So the third area of confusion today, or some people seem to have, is the second dose. Do the beneficiaries get to pick the date for the second dose, or is it automatically allocated 28 days from now? And do they get any choice over the type of vaccine that they will use? Will it be Covaxin? Will it be Covishield?
You see, normally second dose should be taken after 28 days. So what we do is when we, when a person schedules his appointment, we schedule, in default, his appointment on any day after 28 days on the same center where it is working. So where he's going to get the first dose. That's the system. Now, in case he is not able to go on that day, he can reschedule it. He can even reschedule it for some other center also. That is the system which is currently in place, which means that we are initially helping him to get the second dose scheduled. But in case he is not able to make it, then he can choose some other center also. The only condition will be that he will be given the same vaccine which was given to him in the first instance.
one of the concerns, of course, was the fact that on the first day, the website itself, many said, was unable to handle the traffic it was getting. We were getting several complaints of the site being down or being inaccessible earlier in the day. Are these teething problems, Mr. Sharma?
Well, the problem was that there was some confusion because people were trying to look for an app which did not exist. So essentially, they got hold of some app and they tried registering on that, and that was not the app meant for it. Basically, the website has never had any problems. And just to sort of update you, we have till 5 p.m. this evening, we have had 20.74 lakh registrations on the website. One person can register up to 4 people, one mobile number, and therefore even if you take an average of 2 people, then we have had a registration of about 42 lakh people since morning. So now 42 lakh people cannot register if there is a glitch in the website. So there is absolutely no glitch on the website nor on the Arogya Setu app. So registration work is going on very smoothly. Similarly, scheduling of work is also going on very smoothly. There is no problem as such.
One of the concerns, if I may call it, or criticism, if you put it that way, is that the whole process, Mr. Sharma, is tech-driven, too tech-heavy, no human interface, nobody there to help or clear doubts. You're dealing with senior citizens, people above the age of 70, 75. Who do they go to clear their doubts? Can there be a human interface? How do you react to that?
Now, well, I don't know what is the meaning of too tech-based and no human interface. Kindly remember that we are actually going to cater to 1/6 of humanity. And that cannot be done unless you have a technology backbone. You cannot ensure that the person who got vaccine X gets the same vaccine after 28 days as a second dose unless you have his information. So it's important that it's not some kind of, in one village you are vaccinating and everybody knows everybody, and that's not the situation. You are going to vaccinate 1.3 billion people. And therefore, it is important to have a kind of information system which can ensure that a person gets correct vaccination, the person gets vaccination at the time when it is due, the second dose, person gets a certificate to the fact that he has been vaccinated, both provisional and final. And this will require a technology infrastructure, and that is what we have put in place. With regard to the human part, obviously, when you go to the vaccination center, then of course there are human beings available there who will actually guide you, help you. And it is not necessary that you can vaccinate yourself only after, sort of registering on the system. You can even go walk in. You can, wherever the vaccination is taking place, you can go and you can register yourself. You can actually get yourself vaccinated after showing the identity proof. And for people who are between 45 to 60, they can show their comorbidity certificate. So that's how it operates.
Right. You're saying that the walk-in provision is there, but there are fears that the digital divide could hurt the exercise, the availability of internet in urban-rural divide. Have you noticed that so far that there are higher numbers vaccinating themselves in urban areas compared to rural India, sir?
I do not foresee any divide. What I foresee is that there in the rural areas, where people may not have access to internet or may not have access to some of these smartphones, etc., we will have a different approach. That approach will be to, bring the people, motivate these people like we do in the immunization program and to the center and vaccinate them. So that's how it will operate. People will have to be, sort of informed, convinced, told that there is a vaccination center which is working near them. They can come and get themselves vaccinated. This is how it is going to happen. So I think we will take care of that divide, by various kinds of methods to ensure that people are, the whole system is inclusive and does not leave anybody out.
Mr. Sharma, India has set the target of getting 30 crore people vaccinated by July. And when I look at the numbers, you seem nowhere close to that. Is that really achievable, or is that just a hopeful target? What's your sense?
No, the question is, I don't speak of numbers. I am only responsible for creating a technology architecture for making this process, smoothening this process to make this process citizen friendly. And that's what we have done. There is a demand driven system. People are themselves coming forward and registering. And then we are providing vaccination facilities in both private and public sector hospitals. There are about more than 25,000 hospitals where such services are being provided. So I see no reason why there should be any shortfall. But I will not be able to, talk of targets and achievements and numbers, because this is a situation, this is a system which is citizen friendly, citizen driven.
Mr. R.S. Sharma, I know you've got a tough job on your hands, but I appreciate your joining us and clearing at least some of the doubts. The big question that you've answered today is, don't go to the CoWIN app. Go to the CoWIN website if you want to register. A number of people this morning were trying to go on the app.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.